Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Update on Central Spotlight. I'm Caroline Powers.
And I'm Sarah Roebuck.
And we have the latest news for you. The President is back. Frank Underwood, that is. Season 3 of House of Cards was launched on Netflix last week, and like many people, they were anxious and already binge-watched the entire season. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's great to see Frank and Claire back running the White House.
Leonardo DiCaprio has decided to stop playing the Oscar game and start playing the characters that he wants to. Leo is in talks to bring to life The Crowded Room, which shows the first person to successfully use multiple personality disorder as the defense in the court of law. Leo is planning to produce and star in the film as Billy Milligan.
A shark visited campus this week. Damon John from ABC's Shark Tank was on campus on Wednesday night and spoke in Finch Fieldhouse. Damon John is the founder, CEO, and president of FUBU. He is an entrepreneur who spoke in Finch Fieldhouse after a large amount of interest was shown and the event had to be moved from Placta to Finch. This was a great opportunity for students who are interested in the business or entrepreneurship field to get a little bit of knowledge about what it's like to work in the industry.
Jennifer Lawrence and Steven Spielberg are teaming up for the upcoming war film, It's What I Do. The film will follow the war photographer, and the film will be set shortly after the events of 9/11. The two are the biggest names in Hollywood right now, so there are very high hopes for this film.
MTV released the nominees for the 2015 MTV Movie Awards. Gone Girl and American Sniper made the list for Best Film of the Year. And some of our favorites like Zac Efron and Channing Tatum made the list for Best Shirtless Performance. You can catch the whole list on MTV.com and see who's going to take home the Golden Popcorn Awards on April 12th.
This week's film review is going to be on The Last 5 Years, starring Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan. This film shows the musical version of The Last 5 Years, obviously on screen, and basically The Last 5 Years is about Kathy, who marries a writer, and their whole life is falling apart, and it starts off where the girl is at the very end of the relationship and the guy is at the very beginning, and they meet up in the middle, and then it shows the end of the relationship from the guy's side and the end of the relationship from the girl's side for the rest of the film. And the guy cheats on her and all this stuff while she's out in Ohio doing summer theater. And this is one of my favorite musicals of all time. The musical score is absolutely genius. It's really hard to write a story like that in general, but I don't think that it translated to film that well. I think Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan were great, but Jeremy was great as Jamie, who's the man, and their voices were good for the role and everything, but it just didn't translate to film as well because they didn't show them both on screen at the same time as much as the musical version does, because they never really leave the stage in the way it's supposed to be, and it's much more emotional because the stage version is very subtle. There's not a lot of set. There's a couple of extra people in it to kind of move the story around, and I think that's the best way to show The Last 5 Years because it makes it just that more depressing. And the film version just made it more pretty, lots of scenery, doesn't really show the timeline that well. But it was okay. The sound, they did a good job, and the man that wrote the musical actually cast Anna and Jeremy, and Jeremy's been on Broadway, and if you didn't know, Anna Kendrick started off on Broadway also. So very musically talented people, but the film just wasn't right for the screen. Definitely see it if it ever comes to a theater near you. The film right now is playing in select theaters, and in Michigan it's playing currently in Kalamazoo. So feel free to check it out. It's a little different. It's actually very different to see it on film, but I highly, highly recommend the musical as a stage play. Thanks for watching this segment of the Hollywood Update on Central Spotlight. I'm Sarah Roebuck.
And I'm Caroline Powers.
We'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of RSO In the Spotlight. I'm your host, Alysia Burgio. Today I'm checking out an event held by the organization Best Buddies here at CMU. I was lucky enough to get an interview with the president, Carleen Kaskinen, in the EHS building. Let's see what she had to say. All right, so Carly, you're the president of Best Buddies. What does that entail exactly, being the president?
Being the president, it is really kind of overseeing the entire organization as a whole and being the mediator between our chapter's happenings and the international level and like the national level, of course.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do. We have weekly e-board meetings that we make sure things are running smoothly, planning events, making sure all the buddy pairs are going well, what things we can change, and what things are going to happen in the future. It's really exciting.
That is really cool. How many members have you gotten to join this year?
I don't know how many have joined, but right now I believe we have 35 buddy pairs, which is, I think, more than we've ever had.
Wow.
And then I want to say we have around 15 associate members, which are members that aren't paired directly, but they help out with events and will kind of step in if a buddy can't make it. So
that's so great.
It's
so
the
many.
biggest chapter we've had, and I'm
that's
really
amazing.
excited. So
what an accomplishment,
I know. I was like, I have a goal, must get there, and so we did. It's very cool. I'm excited about this year.
Before we get started, what exactly is Best Buddies?
Best Buddies is a one-to-one friendship program. So think of it kind of like you felt like an online dating profile, and a buddy from the community who happens to have an intellectual or developmental disability is paired based on your interests, your availability, things you like to do, hobbies, personality type, and we really just are creating friendships. It's not like Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a phenomenal program, but it's like they are the same age or around the same age, and we are really fostering friendships, and you're on the same level with each other. No one's higher or lower than the other, so it really is. Some people get confused in thinking it's kind of like a Lunch Buddies program, but it's like we're very unique in that sense that you're on the same level, you do the same things.
Right.
It's friendship. It's very, very cool.
That is so great.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that passion behind, you got to have that passion, right?
You do. And I mean, even just if you like making friends, that's literally all it is. So, and it just, I like to throw out the statistic that for every 100 friends that you have on Facebook, they'll have 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
So, I mean, if you put it in terms of, like, Facebook friends, it's 100 to 3. So it's a pretty dramatic statistic there. So we're trying to close that gap.
Yeah. Well, what made you exactly want to join this organization?
I joined it just to get more involved. And, I mean, I was looking as a special ed major when I was a freshman, and I was like, oh, this sounds like fun. But it really turned into nothing really to do with special education at all. It's just making friends. It took me a while to really be like, I'm not working with my buddy. I'm making a friendship with my buddy. I'm creating something that I would, work on with anybody else.
Lifelong friendships,
exactly.
Right?
So that's really what it's developed into, and that we are trying to emphasize more than when I started. That this is friendship. That's bottom line. So
how does one get assigned a buddy?
So what you do is you go and you fill out an application, and I mean it's pretty much do you go here, and it's through the international thing, and just like where you go, interests, hobbies, jobs, things that you do, things about you, and then we go through after we do an in-person interview as well, just kind of get a feel for like your personality, who we think you'd be really well with. Because I mean, you're going to sound completely different on paper than you do in person.
Oh, most definitely.
And then the e-board will sit down. We have a night of cranking out. Okay, who do we really think would be good with who, and debating all the different kind of things, and we try to do friendships that way, and try to help foster those friendships and begin them. So that's how we normally do it. And then if there just isn't someone that it's like, and it's not a matter of you're not good enough, we do really try to do it on the personality and all the things I've said before. So it's like we can't force something to happen. So if it doesn't, they become an associate member until someone joins the program, or we get more buddies in, because we always have more college students than we do buddies from the community. And then we pair throughout the year as we see people coming in that we see fit to be with each other, to be friends. So
That's so great that you pair those people based off of other people's characteristics, that's great.
I mean,
instead of just being like, you're with that person.
It really is trying to make friendships that last a lifetime. So,
So what exactly is happening on CMU's campus today?
Right now is Spread the Word to End the Word Week, and this is paired up with Special Olympics Best Buddies in the campaign, and it's always the first week of March where you pledge to end the use of the R word, which is retard and retarded, and also help others to stop. So, if you hear someone say it, kind of saying, hey, let's think of a different word we can use. So You can go online at ourword.org and pledge, or we have tables in the EHS and the SEC this week.
Great.
So.
Now, following that question, is Best Buddies planning any more events this semester?
We do. We have a talent show coming up on the 20th, I believe,
fun.
through his house. I am very excited. We've never done a talent show before, so it's first time thing. And then
Our buddy's going to be there.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be buddy pairs doing it. Anyone will be able to come. So we're really excited for that. We have some great comedy acts and singing acts already signed up, so I know I'm excited.
I'm intrigued already.
And then I think that might be it for those. I know we might have a movie night coming up, but those are pretty low-key, kind of. We can't necessarily open up the community, but those are things we're doing that way. And then we're going to wind down with our Wayside party.
Ooh.
Every year, Wayside is generous enough to...
Gotta love Wayside.
They donate the space, the food, and the DJ for us to come in every year to end our year with a big dance party. So shout out to them, because it's been amazing every year. So that's kind of how we're going to end off the year.
Wow, it sounds like you got some really great things coming up.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. So when does this organization meet, Carlene?
Mondays, the last Monday of every month at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So, yep, we're in ANSPA 168 if you ever want to stop by.
Great. And lastly, how do students get in contact with you specifically if they have any questions regarding this organization?
They can contact us through Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Best Buddies CMU, or our email is bestbuddies@cmu@gmail.com. So those are our two ways that you can get in contact with us. So
Great. Anything else that you would like to add?
We just encourage anyone who just loves making friends or just wants to check us out, please come. It's an amazing program that's going to last a lifetime.
Great. Thank you so much, Carlene.
Thank you.
That's all for today's show. Make sure you tune in next time for a brand new episode of RSO In the Spotlight. See you then.
Yo. Hey.
What?
We're starting the show. Let's go.
Oh. Hey. How's it going? Welcome to the Nerd Report, everybody.
Welcome.
I'm your host, Dustin Drew.
And I'm your other host, Lindsay Schwalm. Today, we are going to talk about something near and dear to the hearts of most likely any college student. I know if you're anything like me, you're usually short on two things, money and time.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's me.
So we are going to talk about some excellent games, kind of, hidden gems, as it were, that are good for people that, are cash-strapped and don't have a lot of time to devote to games.
Yeah. The first game we'll be talking about today is a game known as Puzzles and Dragons. Yes. And Puzzles and Dragons is almost sort of Tetris-like in the way that you have to match things. But the way that the game works is basically you have like a whole bunch of different elements, like, earth, wind, fire, stuff like that. And so you have to basically match those together and find ways to beat like certain monsters. And the game, you beat these monsters, you collect more. And yeah, that's pretty much how the game works. One thing about it is that there is like a way to pay to get stronger monsters. Like, for example, they have these things called magic stones, and you get magic stones either every day that you log in, or every time that you beat a certain type of level. And you get 5, and you're able to get like extremely strong monsters. Like, for example, one time I ended up getting Batman, and I also have the Flash, and it's a really, really interesting game. And the thing about it is, you play with like this stamina. Like every single time you play a certain type of level, you lose like maybe 5 or 6 points of stamina or something. And the more you move up, the more that it costs. But you lose that stamina. And it takes 5 minutes for 1 point of stamina to come back up. So it's another one of those games where like you can pay to get your life back up or something like that, but you really don't have to. It's totally free. It's you can find it on the App Store for the Apple. You can probably find it for the Android. So definitely check that game out. Once again, it's called Puzzles and Dragons, and it's free, and it's super duper awesome.
I've played it, I've never spent anything on it. It's really fun. It's something that, there's so many puzzle themed games and dragons and monsters. It's something that yeah, I completely overlooked it, I think, until Dustin actually showed it to me. And yeah, it's really, really wildly addictive. So definitely worth the investment, I think, of your time. Another one that we thought was worth mentioning is something you can find on PC, and many of you may have heard of this. It's called Hearthstone. It's developed by Blizzard Entertainment. So this is the company, that's behind Warcraft, StarCraft, and so forth, Diablo. So they have a lot of money to back their games. It is excellently done. It's very pretty, I would say. It's the graphics are amazing. It's essentially, it's a card game, and it's all themed off of World of Warcraft. So, you're playing with a certain amount of, you have a hero, there's warriors, mages, you have a hero, and then you build decks to basically, work around that hero. And you play against other people online. So you can play casual, where, you're just playing against other people that you randomly get matched up with, or you can play ranked, which is, you have a number, you start out at rank, 30 or 25, and you battle up. Every time you win a battle, you move up in the ranks. So it's completely free. It's a free download. It doesn't take very long. You don't ever have to pay anything. You can spend real money and get packs of cards, monsters, things like that. You can pay for it, but you don't have to. I mean, I've never paid for mine, and a lot of people. I've heard, the biggest complaint about the game is that it can be slow to get started because you've got to kind of build up a deck of cards to play with. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, I think you get 10 gold for every match that every 3 matches that you win. You can accumulate the gold pretty quickly. The matches don't take very long. You can buy packs of cards. There's daily quests where, if you win 3 matches and you're playing as a certain class, you can get 60 gold or 100 gold and put that towards buying new packs. Yeah, it's just generally, it's an excellent game. It's just really, the sound is awesome. The graphics are great. I really like it. I probably enjoy it a little bit too much.
Didn't you, beat some big prominent figure in that game or something?
I actually did. This game, believe it or not, if you've never heard of it, it might surprise you. It has a huge community behind it. I mean, there's tournaments every weekend where you can play for free, you can enter and, have the chance to potentially win money if you make it up high enough. But, yeah, I actually beat, there's a guy his name is Trump, his online handle. It's a guy that, he streams on Twitch. He's really well known. He's very good at at Hearthstone. So he's got a lot of followers and really interesting videos to watch. If you want to do tutorials on how to play, certain decks to build, he has amazing videos to check out on YouTube. But yeah, I randomly got matched up with him one day as I was playing, and I beat him. I beat Trump with my randomly put together card deck. That is my, 15 minutes of pretend internet fame. I'll brag about that forever. But yeah, there's chances to be matched up with really, really good players from all around the world. You can chat with people that you're playing with. There's an option to chat with them or friend them, and it's really well done. Blizzard has the money and the subscribers to pretty much, to make they do games really well when they do them. So definitely, something to look into and check out. It's really fun. Yeah.
The next game we'll be talking about is Pokemon Shuffle, and it's on the Nintendo 3DS for all you Nintendo 3DS users out there. And the game is almost like Puzzles and Dragons, but the only difference is instead of moving orbs around constantly, you just kind of switch to around. And it's really, really it's a really interesting battle system because you can have mega evolutions and stuff. For example, your first Pokemon is going to be the one that can mega evolve. And it's really, really interesting. Each level has a different Pokemon that you have to fight. And if you beat this Pokemon and you're able to catch it, you get that Pokemon, of course. And it's a really, really interesting game. You should totally check it out. You can
level your Pokemon up, the ones you catch. If you beat the game in a certain amount of moves, it ups your chance that you'll catch that Pokemon. And it's free. Another quick download. It is another, freemium, free-to-play kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's our only issue with this game that we might want to, kind of tell you guys to look out for.
Yeah, for example, you only have 5 lives.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, you will blow past those 5 lives in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it takes
or less.
or less. But it takes half an hour for you to get 1 life back.
It does.
So you constantly have to blow past those 5 lives and then wait. And it's for how addicting the game is.
Yeah.
That 30 minutes is really, really like it's a spirit breaker. It's really
horrible.
Is. And like it's a really great game. I actually got Mew, and I'm really happy about that.
They have like all kinds of cool like promotions. I know like every week they offer like special Pokemon to catch. I know like it just came out within the past couple weeks, and they were offering legendary Pokemon Mew as a catchable thing, and I think that only runs like for another week or two maybe. It's a limited time thing. They're constantly doing like special Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, bonus levels. It changes a lot, I think, because it's so new. There's kinks still being worked out of it a little bit, but it's addicting. I mean, I love it. It's fun, it's cute, it's colorful, it has catchy music. Just, definitely be aware it's not a long-term play type of thing. It's something that, you'd played before class, between classes. It's a pick up and put down kind of thing while you wait for... you got to wait for your lives to recharge. So you just got to kind of bear in mind that it's a freemium game. But, for a free game, it's excellent. It's really fun for something that's totally free.
So, definitely check out Pokemon Shuffle.
Yes.
And it's on the Nintendo eShop for the Nintendo 3DS.
Yes.
So check it out.
Lastly, we just wanted to finish up by mentioning one more game it's worth taking a look at. It is called Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. Now, this game has been out for a while. It's a 3DS game. People may have played it before, but recently it's come out and there's a mobile version of it. So I believe it's multi-platform. You can download it for, Android or Apple. Totally free to download. Basically, I think it's being marketed as like an action RPG / music game. So it's similar to, like, what would you say it's similar to? Like, kind of maybe like Guitar Hero.
If you remember Tap Tap Revenge,
yes,
for the iPod, it's really, really similar to that.
Yeah,
sort of.
Like you're playing Final Fantasy music. I think you get to go from like the old games, Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3. There's 5 and 6. There's music from 7, 8, and 9. Basically, from the beginning of Final Fantasy to the present. You're playing music. You're basically, you have notes scrolling across the screen. It's a side-scrolling kind of thing, and you hit the notes. There's so many characters from Final Fantasy. Yeah. You pick characters, you level them up, you equip them. They have attacks, and when you hit notes, like if you do a perfect hit, you're getting a critical hit on like whatever monster is on the screen. It's really fun. It's addictive, especially if you love music and rhythm and the Final Fantasy games. The only problem, the biggest problem really is that when you download it for free, it comes with 2 songs. So you'll get tired of those real fast. You get 2 free songs, but you can download any song from the Final Fantasy games. I believe it's 99 cents per song, or you can download them $2.99 per pack. You can, like, say, download every song from Final Fantasy VII for $2.99. They have certain themed packs that you can download, and it's... You get a good amount of songs. I mean, it's a lot of gameplay. It's catchy. There's like novice all the way through. Like, pretty sure you had a hard time with the expert, right? I think we were talking about it's challenging. It's really, really hard. So it's a great deal of fun. I mean, you can download the extra songs at you can do it game specifically. Let's say you only like 7, 8, and 9, and you don't want a certain game's music. You can pick and choose what song packs to download. So definitely a benefit, I think. And if you're really into it, you really enjoy the demo. There's a brand new game that came out that's Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm Curtain Call for Nintendo 3DS. That one, I think you can play upwards of 60 Final Fantasy characters. Like there's 300 songs I've heard. You can equip characters, all different kinds of things. You can play against other people. There's like constant, DLC, new opportunities. You can fight people online. I think that one, you can either buy it, at any game retailer or download it from the eShop, the 3DS eShop. That one is $39.99. It's pricey. Probably only if you really love the game, you like the demo or you like what you've seen. But it's definitely, if you want to play the mobile version, Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm, 99 cents a song. It's kind of like iTunes, except for, people like us. But it's really fun. It's definitely catchy. So check it out, see what you think of the demo, see if you like it, and probably, definitely a good investment for someone who doesn't have very much time but really enjoys Final Fantasy references. I mean, good music too. So
yeah. Also, another piece of news. On Tuesday, there will be a convention here. What exactly is that convention?
I believe that it deals with women in gaming, women in comics. Basically. But I mean, it seems really, really, really interesting. There's a panel of people I think scheduled from early morning all the way until evening, all day long on Tuesday here. So I believe it is on Central Michigan University's website. So check it out. I think there's a Facebook page for it as well. But yeah, it deals with comics, basically a convention atmosphere, and there's a lot of really interesting women in the industry that are here to talk about that. So definitely worth, I'd check it out for sure.
Yeah. Also, in addition to that, we've lost someone very, very important in the nerd world. In case you haven't heard, Leonard Nimoy recently passed away on February 27th.
Yeah, very recently.
And in case you don't know who that actually is, Leonard Nimoy is the guy that played Spock on the classic show Star Trek, and it's a really huge hit to the nerd world.
Yeah, he had a lot of influence. He had a lot to do with in many different fandoms too. He is one of the people I think that first got me interested in the world of sci-fi. I started out watching Star Trek when I was little. My parents loved it, so. It's a huge loss. It's really sad, I think. So, and if anyone, I don't know if anyone remembers. Have you ever seen the video? It's he does a song. It's on YouTube, and it's all about Bilbo Baggins. He sang. He was a good singer. There's a song, and I think it was the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. But it's a pretty legendary video. Check it out. But yeah.
So, Mr. Nimoy, if you're listening, you definitely had a huge impact on a whole lot of people's lives,
for sure,
especially mine. And so, you definitely lived long, and you most certainly prospered. So, here's my salute to you, sir. So, once again, this has been the Nerd Report. I'm your host, Dustin Drew.
And I am your other host, Lindsay Schwalm. Be sure to catch us next time. Everyone have an excellent spring break since that's coming up here at CMU. But be sure to catch us next time. We will be interviewing the president of the Central Game Developers Club. It should be an amazing interview. She is a very interesting person.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Check out our Twitter. It is Two Nerds, One Couch. Yep, yeah. We update constantly, probably too much. Mm-hmm. You can catch all the latest news there, and let us know what you thought of, any of the stuff we covered. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Until next time, guys.
Have an amazing week.
Hey guys, I'm Isis, and I have your anticipated music minutes for the week. The CMU University Band presents its annual winter concert today in the Staples Family Concert Hall. The concert is free and open to the public, and it starts at 8:30 p.m. and goes until 9:30. So if you're looking for an easygoing event to check out right before spring break, this would be it. On to celebrity news. The leader of Maroon 5, also known as Adam Levine, has helped bring awareness to Down syndrome. Adam found out he had a super fan from a YouTube video that went viral. Thanks to the fan's special education teacher, the super fan was able to spread his love and the word about how much he admired Adam Levine. Warner also happens to have Down syndrome. Once this video picked up a lot of attention, a local radio station made it possible for him, his mom, and a few teachers to meet Levine backstage and for a concert. Once Christopher met Levine, he got a little nervous and he crouched down to the ground. Levine encouraged everyone to do the same so he would feel more comfortable. How sweet. Well, that's it for your music minutes. I'm Isis, and I made it short for you because I know you're anxious to get to spring break.